wildebeest massing like they did yesterday. They did a small crossing very late in the afternoon. We were following the lions by then. Just off, as Jean-André pans off to the, well, it is the eastern side, you can see an enormous amount of grey cloud blowing in. We're probably in for a fairly large storm here this afternoon. It's really exciting to see a storm over the Great Plains of East Africa. In case you haven't been watching, we're broadcasting live here from the Mara Triangle. Jean-André is on camera, down in South Africa, in the iconic Kruger National Park, on that beautiful little spit of land called Djuma. Jamie Patterson and Taylor McCurdy will be out driving today, finding those incredible characters that you know so well. Later on, we're going to go and follow the Kitchwatembo Pride. We found them, we know where they are, 5 lionesses. We found the 6th lioness as well. There's a huge amount going on out here. Without me whacking on too much, there is the dead wildebeest, and that, of course, is one of the great stories of this migration. And that there is a crocodile following it. You can probably about to come out and follow it. The wind is starting to come up as the storm goes. Look at the crocodile following there. We're going to keep an eye on the zebra, at least on the wildebeest the other side, and see if they don't decide to cross. But there is so much to eat for these crocodiles, I don't think that croc's going to make a particular effort to necessarily follow that rotting carcass. As we watched yesterday, the crocodiles like to eat rotting flesh. Oof, look at that, isn't that wonderful? That is an amazing sighting of a crocodile. It's not the biggest. That one's probably about 9 feet long, just over 3 meters. We've seen them up to 4.5, 5 meters here, which is close to 16 feet. And they're just resting in the lee of the rock. Now, those wildebeest have been massively indecisive for some time, and the croc will wait here and see what happens, whether they cross or whether they don't. Nobody seems to know why. We've spoken to a huge number of people while we've been out here. We don't know why they cross. We don't know why they don't cross. We know that they want to come and get the good grazing on either side of the river, but really, you know, the rain falls on both sides, and so I can't imagine that there's a huge difference in food quality one side from t'other. This might be the same herd, you know, that we saw yesterday evening. I'm not sure. Anyway, just as we look at those wildebeest in their typically indecisive fashion, the cars are massing around us. Of course, there are lots of people here in the Mara Triangle. Of course, why wouldn't there be? It's one of the world's most quintessential African wildlife hotspots, and that's why we are here too. As I was saying, we did find the Kitchwatembo Pride, the 6 lionesses, 5 of them on their own, looking hungry. They looked like they were going to hunt. One of them caught a baby warthog this morning. We didn't see that, but hopefully we'll see them hunting a little bit later on. Peter Brandt, our technical genius, aka game spotter in the Mara, has gone off to see what they're doing. And so he'll wait for them until we have decided we've finished waiting for the wildebeest to cross. They're a beautiful pod of hippopotami. They don't seem to have moved at all since yesterday. I suspect quite strongly they have. I'm sure they wandered out into the bush and had a good amount of red oat grass during the course of the night. And just to keep you posted, in case you're not a regular sort of morning safari watcher, this safari is going to be, and I wait for this now, 7.5 hours long. It might even be longer if those lions are hunting. But we'll probably go to around about 10:30 Central African time, which is South African time, maybe 11:30 this side. We could go on longer depending on what those lions are doing. So stay with us, don't go too far. If you're unable to watch 7.5 hours of television continuously, well, just have it on in the background, because when there's action going on, it'll be great to have you here. Remember, we're live, so please talk to us, #SafariLive, questions at wildearth.tv. We'll answer your questions here. Now, while we wait for these fellows to decide whether or not to cross the river, let's head across to... No, we're not going to head across. We've not just got to fix one small glitch in South Africa. I nearly said Johannesburg. I think I announced the Sunset Safari from Johannesburg last year, yesterday evening, which was just ridiculous. Ambria, you say, is this real? Well, it's difficult to answer that question, Ambria. Are those real wildebeest? Absolutely. Are they thinking about crossing the Mara River? Yes, they are. Is this the genuine Mara River of the Mara Triangle in southern Kenya? Most assuredly it is, and you are live. So please do keep talking to us, and thank you for asking us a question. Like I say, we're going to be from Kenya here, and also down in sunny, gorgeous South Africa, where they've had some beautiful rain of late, and it will be turning that dry and parched landscape into something very special very soon. Now, in case you have just joined us and you haven't seen this before, these wildebeest are tremendously indecisive fellows. They don't know whether they're going to cross the river or not, and the reason that they are reticent about crossing the river, of course, is because there are so many crocodiles lurking under the bush here. Under the water here, sorry. Hello, June. You're wondering if the weather pattern from here will touch Djuma. June, we are roughly 5,000 miles, no, 4,000 miles from Djuma. There is no way that this particular weather is going to reach Djuma. The weather at Djuma comes normally either off the Indian Ocean or from the south in the Cape of South Africa. This weather comes from a totally different place, and so no, it won't affect Djuma's weather. We're a long way away. So 4,000 kilometers, not 4,000 miles. And the big thing to realize or remember is that, of course, they've been experiencing the El Nino effects down at Djuma last year, and that is, it brings very dry conditions. So we know we had very dry conditions last year, and they had a wet year here during El Nino. Now, this year we're expecting a weak La Nina, which is the opposite of El Nino, which should bring wet conditions to Djuma and drier conditions to this part of the world. So, June, we're a long way away from South Africa, where Jamie and Taylor are about to entertain you there.